Hey folks, we're back and we're here at Circuit World in Blue Ridge, and it's now time for North Georgia Senior Living with Jessie Barton, Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall, better known as North Georgia's Senior Concierge.
Ooh.
We should, let's clip that. Let's clip that. That's good.
Like,
right?
I feel like a climax coming.
Well, I
like,
actually got all that, been fumbling a little this morning because, just rolling, and I got that.
I know, I'm impressed.
Right now. How you doing?
I'm good. It's Friday.
I
almost forgot it was Friday.
Two things. One, try to stay focused. I see you over here trying to stay focused. You got it?
You're
over here trying to play
distracted me.
These old school video games.
So if it's video games from when I grew up, does that make me old school?
I didn't say it, would never say it, but I can never do anything. I can never do anything about somebody that comes and tells on themselves. Can't do nothing about that.
I did just celebrate 40.
Right. I didn't say it. My gosh, you're just really. I didn't say it, folks. It didn't happen here.
40.
Oh,
yeah.
Lonnie's cringing. What are you doing?
40 and fabulous. I'm embracing it.
Love it.
I'm
40 fabulous and North Georgia's Senior Concierge, the one and only Jessie Barton. Now, wow, I'm on a roll today.
I'm impressed.
So wait a minute. I asked you every week, and this is North Georgia Senior Living. Jessie is down at Cameron Hall. There's something I want to ask you because you at Cameron Hall, you have times where you have to. There's planned move-ins.
Right.
And without going into any detail, you were not able to be here last week because you had an emergency move-in.
Yes.
So you deal with things on so many different levels. Can we ask, without getting too many details, what's an emergency move-in at Cameron Hall?
Sure. So emergencies can be several things. It can be that all of a sudden a loved one is being discharged from the hospital. The hospital has a requirement to make sure they go somewhere safe. And family realizes that safe is not necessarily home. What else are we going to do? They are discharging tonight. So that's an emergency move-in for that reason. I've had some that... one that happened was an insurance thing. So their house flooded, broken pipe, lots of damage before they realized what had happened. Mom was either going to have to go to a hotel for the time of the repairs, or they were already looking at assisted living and knew she needed some daily assistance. We made that move happen in less than 24 hours.
I know you said when we sit down, you said you want to talk about something you saw on Twitter last night, and I want to get there. We got our pet of the week coming up in just a minute, but I want to get back to this because we talked about this, and really when we do this segment, we want to stay focused on Cameron Hall and your role in helping, when we say North Georgia Senior Living, your role of helping transitions. That's what you do. Regardless of you get a call this afternoon, certain things you got to know, and you know how to put things in action to make it happen. There's times when you got to communicate with the caseworker at the hospital.
Absolutely.
You got to communicate with the family. You got to find out who the legal person legally can make a decision or answer a question.
Sure.
Because we have dealt with that in my own family. But I do know you could have, and we'll say mom, okay, you can have mom go in the hospital, and all of you out there in the family, when she goes in the hospital, it's mom. All right, I don't want to identify I don't want to get in trouble like your mom cooked or didn't cook, or I don't want to get in trouble.
Right.
But if you had, hey, mom did this, mom drove us to practice all our lives as kids, and she goes in, she's very simple. There's times when she goes in as mom, still mom, but then all of a sudden you have a caseworker come in and say, she's going to come out of the hospital. Do you have handicap rails in your showers? Do you have a handicap ramp? Do you have this and that? And you're all of a sudden saying, well, wait a minute. We brought mom in. You know what I mean? We're leaving on a different level.
Right. It's a different.
And that happens.
Not a different
that happens
person.
A lot.
It does.
And that's when they need to contact you if they're not going to be able to take them home and meet all those needs for your loved one. And I want to say this, I want to say this, and this happens, and I personally am talking about this because I've dealt with this in our family personally, and this is who you want to know. I can't stress any more on a personal level as far as giving a record. This is who you want to know. North Georgia, we have a lot of seniors moving in. You want to know Jessie Barton, and you want to know how to contact her. So
Thank you.
I'm going to move on from that, and I
Sure.
want to know what you saw on Twitter.
Sure. So when we first started this segment, I remember our very, very first segment a little over a year ago, we talked about scams.
Right.
I don't know if, and I've just gotten into the whole Twitter thing, so it's been interesting. I've not really been out there, so scrolling through Twitter.
You put yourself out there on Twitter.
I did.
Ooh, go ahead.
Tweeting, and I retweeted your tweet about this. So anyway,
You're retweeting
I'm
on Twitter.
retweeting
All right, get to the
already.
point, lady.
I have seen in the last 2 weeks 2 different instances of everyday people being scammed. One was a college student. So it just shows how vulnerable our society is, especially our elders. Both of these instances, the people were on phone calls with this scammer for a minimum of 10 hours. So one got scammed out of $30,000, one got scammed out of $35,000. So I want to issue that warning. If you are getting a call and they've got you on the phone and they're telling you to go to an ATM and put money in another ATM, kind of be wary of that. Nobody, your money is, people that help you with your money are not going to ask you to go remove money from one ATM so it's safe and put it in another ATM so it's even safer. And that's what both of these calls kind of went towards. So they said they're very convincing. They said it was unbelievably real sounding.
Let me say this, okay? Let me say this. I don't want to say there's nothing law enforcement can do. All right, I don't want to say that. But law enforcement can help you in the front of the situation. Mm-hmm. If it's even a phone call scam or an internet scam and you make the first transaction, you've made a transaction with somebody maybe even in another country, another state, and now your local law enforcement can't reach into those areas and enforce things. You follow me?
Right.
So there sometimes turns into very little, okay?
Right.
Very little after you initiate the first move that your local law enforcement. But I want to give a shout out to all local law enforcement. They study these scams and they are there for you.
Right.
Okay? They are there for you to help you in the front. Call them.
Right. Before you start moving money around,
Right.
before you start giving out an account information, call your law enforcement first and get them involved. If this is truly an issue that your money is in danger, you want them to be involved from the get-go.
Yes, absolutely. So what you saw, I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of seniors are taking advantage of people in general all day long. I mean, there's 3 times today, and I want to say there's 3 times today I will get a phone call letting me know that my car warranty is expired.
Sure.
So we all get them. Seniors are, I only know how to say it this way, are more vulnerable.
They are.
Okay.
And, some of us might be sitting here thinking, well, gosh, a 10-hour phone call, because that was my initial reaction. Who's got 10 hours to sit on a phone call? But if you're truly scared, you're going to make the time.
I've gotten the phone call because I've been with my parents. Hey, we're trying to correct something with your Medicare. If you can validate your Social Security number, we can help get this taken care of immediately. No, they don't do that. They don't call and ask for that. So
No.
That being said, thank you for that. I get passionate about it because, folks, the scammers are out there. Call your local law enforcement. Call your local city police. Call your local sheriff. They are there and willing to help. Text us and say, or text her, say, I don't know if this is accurate. We'll let you know who to call.
Right.
But whatever you do, they're not calling and asking certain information. And legally, the IRS is not calling you and saying, if you'll go to this ATM and put this money in, we can maybe clear up your back taxes, right?
Right.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I appreciate it. I got a little wound up today.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
We have to go because she needs actually about 2 minutes. She thinks she's going to get the high score here. We're at Circuit. We do have a pet of the week. First of all, how do people get in touch with you?
Call me at Cameron Hall, which is 706-515-4100, CameronHallofLJ.com, or you can always get in touch with Fetch Your News and get my cell phone number.
Absolutely. So, right after these messages, this star of the show, what we've waited for all week, at least I have, the pet of the week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. Lonnie, take us to break.